Hello peers, I hope you're all doing well. My name is Ulysses Muñiz and I'll be presenting the analysis on the 13th documentary. A side note I would like for my listeners to know is that all my sources are listed in parentheses, which can be traced back to the Sources tab. At the end of the presentation, I thought it would make for a more cleaner look on the Google slide. So the three themes I'll be exploring are institutional racism, community, and work. This slide introduces what I believe to be the pillar, the root of all the exploits that organizations and institutions took advantage of. Here are a few statement examples on what I mean by the 13th Amendment exploits. African Americans incarcerated for trivial crimes, the war on drugs, and in fact extracted from the book stating that African Americans are more likely to be under surveillance than anyone else. Going back to what institutional racism begets, it is policies or practices within organizations that contribute to discrimination to a group of people. In other words, policies tend to become laws, which in turn are then assembled to discriminate a group of people, in this case brown and black people. And so here are a few examples of what those laws appear to be. These are mandatory minimums, Arizona SB 1070, three-strike laws, truth in sentencing laws. Now, onto the theme regarding work. I claim that when inmates are released, their conviction persists outside of prison. A few cases of this are: work in almost any given field is extremely challenging to obtain, and food stamps and public housing are denied to people with a criminal record. In this slide, I elaborate on my previously stated claim on the injustices inmates experience when released from prison. I proceed with a list of corporations that take advantage of prison work, which I also assert to be a form of slavery. Lastly, I'll talk about the psychological effects on the African American community. I claim the idea that white Americans dating back to the 1900s have made black people appear to be malicious. And here are some deciding occurrences that heavily influence the public to see African Americans this way. Using practical ways to reach audiences which were mainly their own race, such as the film The Birth of a Nation, and by stripping a large amount of voices that were crucial to the African American society as a whole, such as Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. Here are the three effects that have taken place due to the three previously mentioned themes. Suicide rates among black men doubled between 1980 and 1995. Black communities began to support policies that criminalize their own children. A significant amount of African Americans have grown terrified of their own people as they were framed as criminals over the course of many years. And so, based on the film analysis and research findings, it is evident that the state of the African American community is linked to institutional racism in the way that today's current governmental system is set up in a manner to keep African Americans in prison. Its deteriorating work state for the African American community is evident as, for example, when they are released from prison, they have unfavorable employment circumstances along with external factors. And lastly, the community. Many African Americans, particularly black males, are afraid of leaving their homes due to tragic events that have taken place where these events have clearly shown no sign of justice and equality for the African American community. Overall, I believe the greatest cure to the deterioration to the African American community is to encourage people to become educated about these issues and take precautions on how to avoid these misfortunes. With time, this plight should recover. Here is a list of the sources that I used, and just thank you guys for listening. I hope you guys have a great day.